Okay, we are continuing with filling in the remaining edge pieces. We're making a cross on the top of the cube, which means we want to solve this piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece, using our keyhole piece down here. I can rotate a piece from the keyhole into place, and then a piece that's out of place, I can rotate it from the top layer back into the keyhole. So we just solved this one edge piece, the yellow and blue piece, which is here. You'll notice that in my keyhole now is an orange and yellow piece, which belongs here between orange and yellow. Again, I have to just rotate it into place, move my top layer, and move some other piece into the keyhole, and move it back. So this yellow-orange piece, which used to be in the keyhole, I just rotated it into place. And now some other piece that used to be there has ended up in the keyhole, which is this yellow and red piece. Notice again that nothing else has changed. I still have two layers basically done. Anyways, I have the yellow-orange done, the yellow-blue done. Now I have a yellow-red piece in my keyhole, so that belongs here. This yellow and red piece belongs here between yellow and red. So, how do I do it? Well, I set it up. So let me just do it slowly. The yellow piece, I want to do this. I'm going to rotate it into place, right? So I'm set up my top layer. I rotate my yellow-red piece into place. I move it out. And then I rotate it back. And then I realign the top piece. Now I have the yellow-orange, the yellow-blue, the yellow-red, and all I'm missing is the yellow-green piece. So, unfortunately, the yellow-green piece is already in the top layer, so I have to take it out first, and then I have to put it back in its correct location. This is not quite as easy as it sounds because you can't move just one piece, you have to move two. So, again, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. This. Alright, so now I have my yellow-green piece in the keyhole. Again, I have my yellow-orange, yellow-blue, yellow-red pieces already fixed. And I have to rotate my yellow-green piece into where it belongs on the top. So let's go ahead and do that. Now you'll see that yellow-blue is in place, yellow-red is in place, yellow-green is in place, yellow-orange is in place. We're all set. It's also worth pointing out that you can't have just one edge piece out of place. It's not even possible. So by solving these top four edge pieces, we have automatically solved the keyhole. You notice that the keyhole has been filled in. So it's just a nice little consequence of the cube. You'll notice that that step wasn't entirely trivial. Again, it gets a bit complicated. The keyhole is pretty easy, but it gets a bit complicated. Trust me, if you fiddle around with it for 15-20 minutes, you'll figure it out. No memorization is needed, just you'll figure it out. So now, once you've done that, we only have 5 corners left. Although actually, by sheer dumb luck, one of my corners got filled in the process of doing those, so that's great. So I have 4 corners left to do. This is definitely the hardest step. I wouldn't think any less of you if you go ahead and just memorize a corner sequence now. It might save you some trouble, but this is definitely the hardest step. It's definitely the funnest step. Here is where you have to just sit down and really think about what needs to be done. The way you solve this is by using what's called commutators and conjugates. I recommend you go to Lars Petrus's website. He explains very well how to use these things to create moves that rotate and orient corners. It's a bit too hard to explain for YouTube, but I'll try that in the next part. What I want to do, for example, is I want to rotate this corner clockwise. So yellow goes to blue, blue goes to orange, orange goes to yellow. I want yellow on this face, so rotate it clockwise. Also, I want to move this corner from here, which is the yellow, orange, green. That's wrong. I want to move it down here, yellow, orange, green. Oh, yellow, orange, blue. I want to move it here to the yellow, orange, blue side. That's what I want to do. So I have to rotate it clockwise and move it down here. How do I do that? Well, again, I use conjugators and conjugates to come up with a move on the fly that will do that for me. So just watch. There it is. Yellow, orange, blue has been rotated correctly and moved correctly. Sorry I can't explain it better on YouTube, I don't have enough time, but go to Lars Petrus's website and he will explain how conjugators and conjugates and commutators work. It's very fascinating. It's definitely the funnest part. And that's what I'm doing. So now, what I want to do is, this corner's in the right spot, this corner's in the right spot. They're just oriented wrong. So I want to rotate this corner, for example, counterclockwise. I want green to go here, orange to go there, yellow to go there. And I want to rotate this corner clockwise. Red goes to here, blue goes to here, yellow goes to there. So I have two corners that I need to rotate. One needs to rotate counterclockwise, one needs to rotate clockwise. Using the principles of conjugators and conjugates, I can come up with a move that will do that. Again, I apologize for not being able to explain this over YouTube, but again, go to Lars Petrus's website. He explains in depth how to create moves as they become necessary. You don't have to memorize anything, you just have to think pretty hard about it and you can come up with it. So, I've got my move all set. So I've rotated that first corner correctly. Now I got to rotate the second corner correctly. And voila, our cube has been finished. Nothing to it. Also, once you finish the cube, make sure to rotate the three middle columns, this column, this column, this column, 180 degrees. Why? Well, you'll see. It makes a cool checkerboard pattern. That's the first column. I rotate the second column 180 degrees, and I rotate the third column 180 degrees. And now you have this cool checkerboard pattern that I personally find pleasing. It's a good way to leave cubes at your friends' places. You don't leave it solved, because that would take all the fun out of it for them, but you leave it in this state, and then they look at it fascinated, wondering if they can put it back together again, and invariably they can't, and it's very fun. It gets people into the cube. Anyways, I like that. So please turn to the next part. I believe it'll be part 4, where I will try to explain commutators and conjugates to you. Although it's definitely better just to go to Lars Petrus's website, I will do my best to explain it.